Today we're going to talk about trap, and it is a trap.
It certainly is, dear.
Oh shit, wrong video. Even though that is pretty much what the movie feels like, just a big old wet fart that someone threw at the fucking wall. Like, okay, so this dude, Josh Hartnett's character, is a serial killer that everyone calls the Butcher. Like, he's supposed to be some psychopath that's been going around like chopping people up. He's got some dude locked in his basement and shit. And I mean, it starts out all right. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's got like a decent suspense. I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know, Gen Z-ish in my opinion. I mean, you got a lot of goofy. I mean, but it's not too bad at the beginning. And then he finds out that the cops are there to fucking like they're trapping. They've got so many fucking people. It's like they're trying to bring Magneto down, dude. Like they think he's gonna come up out of that fucking stadium and just start throwing pillars or something. But I mean, he's just like, there's no real twists like that in this movie. He's not a monster. He's not supernatural. He's just, supposed to be a psycho dude. And this guy right here, this a Tinder dude, like merch guy, I guess, he literally tells him everything. Just every fucking thing. And it's like, what kind of brain rot bullshit am I starting to wander into? Why would you just tell a rant like okay, you set up the concert as a trap to catch the serial killer. I forget if I mentioned that. And you just tell some random guy. Like he could be the dude. Like, okay, that is like severe brain rot. I'm not like he was. I mean, I'm surprised he wasn't like, dude, we got word that the butcher here for real, on God. I mean, that's about how close I feel like it got. So he's going around, and they got this fucking bitch that thinks that she's Clarice from Silence of the Lambs or some shit over there profiling him. And somehow he could be like about to whip his dick out to take a piss, and she'll be like, he'll be peeing any moment now. You just give it time, he'll be peeing. But, okay, anyway, he ends up getting backstage with his daughter. Uh, he goes through like this whole thing where he lies and says that she has leukemia and this shit to, guess who? M. Night fucking Shyamalan. Of course, he had to make his cameo. And the chick, little mini Shyamalan up on stage who has the terrible fucking lines. I'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, he's like her uncle in the movie, but he's her dad in real life. And I'm like, well, if you're gonna go that route, why weren't you just her fucking dad? I mean, that just seems like obtuse. It doesn't really seem like it serves a purpose. But like like I said, if you're going to be a family member and you already are one, like why play the uncle? Why not play the dad? I mean, I don't. But anyway, they get backstage with her and they're over there. She's supposed to be her dream girl or some bullshit where she pulls her up on stage and dances with her because he lied and said that she had leukemia. And he's trying to figure out a way. He's like, oh, maybe I can get out backstage, get home, kill this guy. And no, like they've got it all trapped up and shit. Of course, I mean that's the name of the movie. And so at one point he realizes that he can't get out, so he goes up to Minnie Shalamalan and he or Salika, like she's an actual recording artist and shit. I mean, I guess it's easy to like be a recording artist and act terribly in movies when your daddy is the guy making the movie. But I digress. But anyway, he goes into her room at one point and is like, "Oh yeah, you're looking for me," and lets her know that he's the butcher and shows her this dude that he's got locked somewhere, undisclosed location, and he tells her that he's got a button that he can press, right, and it will kill this man with carbon monoxide poisoning in a couple of minutes. It doesn't take long for carbon monoxide to kill you, and yeah, so she agrees to let them in the limo and shit, and this right here, in my opinion, is where the movie kind of like went off the rails for me, to where like I couldn't suspend my disbelief anymore because I was more suspended in disbelief of the terrible like AI person trying to act like a human acting that was coming from Minnie Shalamalan. And I mean that might be cruel, that might sound like bully, but it's not though. Like your dad made the movie. You're not a fucking good actress. Like you are terrible and yet you're still in the movie. Huh, I wonder how that happened. I mean, a lot of time they'll do cuts and shit if you can't quite act up to snuff. You're over there acting like that fucking creepy robot or something that said that they were going to put us in cages. But he's like, yeah, you can drop us off at the next corner or whatever. And so this bitch, after he tells her that he has a button, and like this is where I couldn't believe it any longer at this point. Uh, she's like, "Oh, Riley, that's his daughter." He's like, "What if I go to your house and shit?" And I'm like, "He literally just told you that if you tried anything or did anything, that he was gonna kill this motherfucker." And then you do that and more by proceeding to go to his house. She goes into his house, starts talking to his wife and his daughter, basically trying to tell them that he's the butcher without telling them he's the butcher in like the most brain rot Gen Z way I've ever seen in my fucking life. It's just like, yeah, he's like in a place of authority, kind of like your husband who's a firefighter and all of that. And he's got mom issues, kind of like your husband who's sitting right next to him. And it's just like, and then she fucking like steals his daughter's phone, doesn't even do anything with her phone for some reason, just like puts it in her pocket, and then steals his phone and runs into the bathroom and is like blooping around on his phone and shit. And he's over there beating on the bathroom door. Supposed to be a psycho, mind you. Like some fucking unhinged, crazy, you know. But, and he's acting like this bathroom door is made out of like goddamn titanium steel or some shit, like beating on it and it's not even moving, like not even rattling like a door would do if you were hitting it for real. And I'm just sitting there thinking, bro, like not to brag or anything, but I've kicked open my fair share of doors with like one good boot. you know, it doesn't take, especially if you're a firefighter. Like, and I mean, at that point, he's supposed to be a psycho. She's in the bathroom with your phone talking to the dude that you got chained up in the basement. And you're not gonna like you don't think that that psycho would just go full fucking psycho regardless of if his family's there or not, kick that fucking door down and take the phone from her? Like it's just completely unbelievable. And then he takes his family and he puts them upstairs or puts them somewhere, puts them in a room, and he's going to take her, I guess kill her or whatever, for because he finds out that she somehow, okay, no, wait, I forgot to mention this. She does like the most Gen Z bullshit possible. Like she like to find this dude, right? He's giving her landmarks. And to find this dude, she gets on fucking live stream and has a bunch of people like telling her, "Oh yeah, I know where that landmark is. It's right across the street from right there." And I'm just like, "Oh my fucking god, dude!" And so the guy gets free, and so he takes her, and then he's gonna leave with her, right? And the wife is standing outside in front of the car, in front of the husband that she just found out was a fucking serial killer, and she's got her kids like behind her and is standing in the driveway so he can't leave, and he's got some like random singer chick in the back, and I'm just sitting there thinking, look, it might sound like shitty coming from a person, but I'm just being dead honest. Like, if I had to choose between like, the life of my kids and the life of some random singer that I don't like know personally, like I'm sorry, it's not going to be a hard choice. I'm not going to potentially put my kids in front of a vehicle where this motherfucker's going to run them over. Like it doesn't make any. Okay, so anyway, he ends up letting her go and tries to be all like, "Oh yeah, be good in school, blah blah blah." And then they come in the house, and he's slipped through a secret tunnel that he has in the fucking basement, and has somehow slipped into like a police uniform and got in her limo, and now he's driving her and handcuffs her to a thing in the back. Well, she's like any real crazy dude would have just killed you at this point. I'm sorry, it's true, but like, she rolls down the window, starts yelling for help and shit, and then somehow the fucking FBI lady already knows like where he is and that he took the limo and shit, and they're pulling in behind him, surrounded by a crowd of her fans on one side, surrounded by police on the other, and somehow he slips out of the fucking limo and ends up back at his house and shit. And then he's like threatening his wife, and she's like, "Oh, let's eat something." Like the most cliche fucking played out trick I've ever seen in Hollywood. "Oh, let's just eat one last piece of pie." Like who does that when they're about to die? Like, "Oh, let's have one more piece of pie." And then this fucking idiot sits there and eats it when she put his drugs that he'd been drugging the people with in there. And so he starts hallucinating, seeing his mother passing out and shit. And then they come in and they tase him. Like, they tase him like 4 fucking times, dude. And it does nothing. Like, he just goes crazy on this one guy. And then Grandma Clarice walks in with a supercharged taser, just drops his ass. and, he, and he fucking goes down. And then he's locked up. They put him in the back of the one of these suckers right here, one of those armored trucks. And he had kneeled down by a bike, and so it showed him in the back. He had taken like the tubing out of the bike and was using like the tubing as like a lock pick, and he picks the lock for the handcuffs, and then that's all she wrote, man. That's Trap for you in a nutshell, right there. I mean, I would give it. I don't know, like it's like I said, it started out all right, had some decent shit, and it quickly spiraled. So I give it one wet fart out of 5.
Certainly is, dear.
Uh, I mean, if you want to be, I mean, it was entertaining, but I wouldn't go into it looking for a good movie. Bye.